Sometimes you gotta pop your shit, you know? What that boy Drake said. What are we on? 13 episode? We are on
Yes.
episode 13 of Pop Your Shit. I'm a
Very
little-
special number.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's my birthday. I'm high as fuck right now. We got a lot of shit to talk about. First, you got some shit you want to address as it pertains to smoking, correct?
Right. It's come to my attention
Let me see the lighter.
that some people might think because they see me and my son smoking together now that we may have been smoking together since he was a kid, and that is absolutely not the case. I smoked while my son was a kid, but he never seen me with a blunt in my hand when he was a child. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yo, let me tell y'all something funny real quick. I remember the day my mother confessed to me that she smoked weed. She was like, Karan, sit down. I got to tell you something. I said, all right. I said, I'm like, fuck, did I do something? I ain't take out the trash. She told me to take the meat out the freezer. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck is going on. She said, I want to tell you something about your mommy. And I want you to know that just because she does this doesn't mean she's a bad person. It's not bad. I said, my mother is hooking. This bitch is hooking. Nah. And then she's like, I smoke weed from time to time. Duh, I knew that. But go ahead, keep going.
Well, first, I had this boy when I was 15 years old, and I didn't smoke my first blunt until I was on my 21st birthday. And then from my 21st birthday to around when he was 23, he never seen a blunt in my hand, let alone we smoked together. He never even seen me with a blunt in my hand, so stop with the nonsense. First of all, I don't view weed the way you might allow society to make you view weed. Weed is a medicine, and it helps with a great many things. And I don't demonize weed the way you people might because of your society and the way you were raised. So,
long story short, I see y'all niggas saying it's ghetto that me and my mother smoke weed together. I have y'all niggas know I didn't start smoking weed till the second year of the pandemic, 2021, when I was 23 years old. I waited till I was an adult to smoke. Never smoked before that. Before me and my mother, before the pandemic, I never seen my mother smoke before. Never. So, chill. I'm 27 years old. We never tell women's age, but you could guess the age range. I'm 27 years old.
and I had it when I was 15.
We both grown. Please cut the bullshit.
Yeah, cut it.
But into the positive stuff. How was your week? There's a bunch of shit that happened this week. Mm-hmm. My birthday was since the last episode. We had a little party the other day, whatever day that was. Had a lot of fun this week.
Yeah.
Had
a lot of fun.
Let's get into some shit. We're gonna start with the prison stuff. So, my boy King Von, and for those who don't know, King Von is a rapper from Chicago. He's actually been dead for 3 years now. But some video footage surfaced of his prison time and him telling another correctional officer that he would like to go to protective custody. And his reasoning being that he is gay. Right? Weird timing. Weird timing. He's been dead I don't see how this is relevant. He's been dead for some years now. But then, the next day, a Southern rapper, his name is Lil J, not to be confused with Lil TJ, but Lil J, he had a boy sitting on his lap and he kissed the boy in jail. That footage surfaced. What's going on? Why do you think that is? These two rappers.
I think that it's all by design. It's definitely by design by people that we don't even know exist, because they're trying to have us think about a narrative. Because I also saw something about how the baby mother of King Von is going around saying that she wants Kiki Palmer to play her in the... So there's a reason why this stuff is coming up. I can't tell you exactly why, of course, but it's all by design to keep us in this brainwashed state of craving useless knowledge about useless things. Like, whether this boy was actually gay or not really is not going to affect any of us in any way, shape, or form, but just keep us distracted from whatever the hell they want us to keep us distracted.
You think he's really
from.
gay?
I think that he could have been, but I don't think that that's a reason. I don't think that that's even the best reason he could have given to be put in protective custody. So I don't know. I don't think, like, people think, you should have to be put in protective custody, but there's so much other better things. He could have said he's suicidal. He could have said that he received death threats. Like, those things would put you in protective custody way before you're just gay.
You make a good point. That was what I thought when I'm like, maybe he was just saying this as like an excuse to whatever. But I didn't think about that. He could have said a lot more things. So let me ask you a question. So, men that have sex, okay, so if you have a long jail term, let's say 10 years plus, 10, 15 years plus, right? Mm-hmm. And you start having sex with men or having relations with men while you're in jail, right? Let's say when you get out of jail and you don't have like relations with men anymore, you whatever, is that person considered gay?
If they're not having sex with men, if it's not a secret life, then no, that person's not gay anymore, I guess. Yeah. But most likely what's going on is that person is having a heterosexual life for the people and a secret homosexual life for himself.
But if there's no secret homosexual life?
If there's no thing, yeah, they're not gay no more. But I doubt that's ever going to happen. I have serious doubt that will ever happen. If you enjoy having sex with a man for 10 years, 15 years while you're in prison, mm-hmm. and you come home, you're not going to just not have sex with men anymore. That's just not the way humans work. So, like, I know you could say, oh, you can't say what's in everybody's mind. Yeah, you can't, but also you can. Because humans are they just follow the laws that humans have to follow as far as behavior. So if the person truly does that, comes home and never be with a man ever again, then yeah, no, he's not gay. Mm-hmm. But do I think that happens? No, I don't think that happens. One of two things happens. You come home, you decide to be yourself and be with men and women. If you choose both, if you like both, that's totally possible. Mm. Or you come home and you pretend like you only like women now that and you live a secret life. Mm. And I know several people who have come home from prison and they do live that fake, I'm straight, I'm only with women, but they actually having sex with boys too. Mm.
Yeah, I agree. I truly do think that once you start, you kind of, it's like, whatever, but, because like you said, too, girls have buttholes.
Right.
Girls have buttholes. So if you get out of jail, right, if you fucking a man, it gotta be because you gay. Because if it was anal sex that you like, you could just fuck your girlfriend's butthole. So I definitely think you're right. This was a funny topic for me. I'm going to tell y'all a story about how I had to beat some gay allegations. All right, so back in the day, I used to work. I was a manager at a couple movie theaters, right? And I used to have this guy. He was an openly gay guy. He was on the management team. So usually, what happens in the day to day is there's a manager and a supervisor, and they closing, right? Like they close the building. So at the time, I was dating this girl who was also in a company at another location, and I had a little something on the side with another girl in the company at a separate location, right? One of the things I used to do back in the day was I used to change my friends' names in my phone. So let's say Rel, right? Let's say I was going to be with, let's give him a name. Let's say I'm going to be with Kiara, right? And I'm with Kiara most of the time. We're going to name another one Bianca. If I'm with Kiara most of the time and Bianca's calling me, it's going to be like, who the fuck is that bitch, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be issues, right? So what I did was I used to, so Rel's name in my phone would be like Rel with like a football emoji, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. And so then I would have Bianca's name saved as Rel with like something subtle, like the same fire emoji or the same football emoji, and like a period or like a comma, something subtle. So you're not gonna realize it, right? So
Listen up, ladies. He's telling you how these.
Yeah, I'm putting y'all on
roll.
game. Always search for that little subtle something, like, you feel me? So, what happened? So, I'm bugging. Me and the manager, we closing. I put my phone to charge, right? And I go back onto the floor. We had one, like, manager room charger, right? And we all used it. And something that happened a lot was, let's say my phone, I'm out on the floor for a long time, I don't got my phone's done charging. If you go and you see my phone is done, you'll like just take my phone off, leave it where it is, and then charge your phone, right? So I'm out on the floor, come back, and I'm doing cash, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So he looked over at me, he's like, Q, I just want you to know, like, you could be yourself around me. Like, I know. So I'm like, what you mean? What do you mean you know? So he's like, I want you to know that I would never out anybody. Like, I would never ever out a gay man that's not ready to come out. I want you to know that I know you could just be yourself around me. So I'm like, what you talking about? Bianca has sent me, so I was supposed to see her later on in the day. So she sent me some like dirty text, like something along the lines, I can't wait to get some dick later, or I can't wait to, some nasty shit, right? But the name in my phone is Rel. So he see it and he's like, oh shit, whatever the case may be. So he approached me about it. And I remember I had to go get my phone and I unlocked it and I went to the Rel contact and I FaceTimed it and it was her. And she picked up and I was like, hey babe. And she was like, hey babe, whatever. We had a little brief conversation. I was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to you a little later when I'm done closing.
And
I
did
was
somebody
like,
at your job have the name Rel too?
Yeah.
To even spice it up even more?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was crazy. that was a crazy one. And if you really think about it, I knew that what I was doing was risking my relationship with not Bianca. What's the first name I said? With a relationship with the main girl, right? Mm-hmm. Because we all knew each other. That movie theater is like high school. We all knew each other at all locations, right? I was willing to confirm to this nigga that I was cheating on her, not knowing if he was going to tell or not. I was willing to confirm.
Well, he did just say he would out you, so you had kind of thought that he wouldn't out you.
I was like, nah, we gonna show these niggas, because I didn't want I was like, I'll take the cheating allegations over the gay allegations, but
why?
Because gay allegations are hard to come back from.
What you mean come back?
Like, if you get accused of being gay and like you got gay rumors on your name, that's like hard to come back from in terms of like that's gonna fuck up your pussy. As a man, as a dude, like if you single and you got gay allegations, you gonna try to talk to girls and you don't want those type of rumors around. I'm bugging?
I don't know.
But
I don't know if you bugging because I'm not a man and I'm just asking you probing questions.
You said, look a couple, whatever amount of episodes ago, you said you don't lust after Tyson Beckford because you think that he may be gay, right?
Right.
So I'm telling you, that's like a common thing. Like if there's like gay rumors on you, women ain't gonna be trying to get you nothing. But yeah, that's a funny story about how I had to beat some allegations. That was a crazy time. You ever had to beat any gay allegations, Mama?
No, and funny enough, like, I guess lesbians don't dig me because I've been in a whole lesbian bar and not one of these motherfuckers came and said, hey, how you doing? Can I buy you a drink? Not one.
Nah,
I was so, like, hurt. I was like, oh.
The gays love me.
The gays do not love me. I was like, don't nobody want to eat my pussy? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Carlisha? You want to talk about Carlee?
Yeah, okay. Carlee Russell. I don't think her name was Carlisha, like the other girl, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I know Carlee is short for something, but I don't know if it's Carlisha. I'm just not sure. Oh, we forgot to say. All the stuff we said before and all the stuff we say after is alleged. We don't know about none of this at all. We don't know nothing. We just opinionating. Okay. So Carlee.
Wait, hold on. I want y'all to know. I am not privy to the Carlee situation. Like, when I first seen it, so this was my birthday weekend. So I was out and I was about and I wasn't on my phone as much. And when I first seen it, I thought it was just a random like people trying to find their kid. Like we get a bunch of those all the time. I didn't realize like how big it had become until the next morning. And I saw like I remember there was videos on TikTok analyzing footage and being like, look at that figure right there and there's no baby, like, and then it just blew up after that. So I'm not very privy to it. I wasn't paying much attention to it while it was going on. So I know you know a lot about it. I know you think so.
Well, I was paying attention to it because I wanted to find this young woman alive. I wanted them to find her alive. I didn't want her to be dead, and I didn't want her to be sex trafficked either, you know. I wanted her to be okay. So I was a part of the people who were reposting, sharing, making videos, you know, to try and find her. And
fucking activist over here, yo. Thank you, girl.
And she wound up returning home 48 hours after she said she saw a baby on the road. And then she was on the phone with her sister-in-law and she screamed, and her sister-in-law didn't hear anything else after that. So she showed up at home. It did seem fishy, like the whole situation, but I wasn't going to do what a lot of people were doing, which was jump to conclusion as to what was going on. It could have been an actual abduction. It could have been a mental health crisis. I don't know. Either way, I didn't want to like be bashing this woman before I ever know anything about her situation or what really went down. And I wasn't going to rush. I wasn't going to be like, oh, we need to hurry up and know. Just we'll find out when we find out. That's how I felt about it. So I was happy that she was home, safe, and not dead, and not being sex trafficked. I was very happy about that. And so come to find out, the whole thing was a hoax. And I still don't want to be mean to this woman. I mean, I don't want to, you know, trash her. I don't know why. I just don't. And I'm glad she's home. And I think that there's definitely a possibility that she could have had a mental health issue, you know. And I hope that she recovers from whatever she's going through. What about you? The jokes were funny.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking with the jokes. I'm here to joke. What are some of the funny Carlee show ones? The fucking Kevin Hart shit. Kevin Hart got a joke in the special where he'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry, dude, I was late. There was a fucking baby on the highway. And so now they using Carlee's.
And they taking the lighter.
Oh, the lighter. I'm bugging. I think I'm passing you.
They using the taken posters with Harley shit without her wig on.
They said that's when she knew it was time to come home when her mom was posting pictures with her wig off. She said, let's get the fuck on back. I'm glad she's alive. I'm intrigued to know why. What sparked this? Why? I want to know why.
Well, there is some speculation that her boyfriend broke up with her, and this was like.
Did you see? He said something about it too.
Yeah.
He said he's disgusted by her, some shit like that.
Yeah.
You okay?
How the tides have turned. Now you disgusted by her.
Yeah.
Before you wanted them to return your girlfriend to you. You didn't even say ex-girlfriend. Return your girlfriend to you. Like, I don't know. Like, is what she did that bad that doesn't deserve love anymore? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it was bad. It was a bad decision, but I just don't think that she deserves to not be loved anymore.
Yeah, but she also got to deal with the scrutiny of her actions in the moment. I think she deserves forgiveness, but you know, I can understand why people criticizing her or whatever. You know, everybody got an opinion. Everybody want to, you know, dump on people, and she gave them ammo. She gave them ammo to make the jokes. And
also, I feel like there's no way that she could have thought that it would have blown up the way that it did because of the way that society is towards black women, which they don't give a fuck. She had no idea. This is the first time that we as Black women and Black people, you know, have come together to try and find one of ours with such veracity. You know what I mean? That's what's
But
the
that's
sad
time
part
and
of-
resources she took
Right,
away from
okay,
finding
but-
somebody else that could,
Okay,
you know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is, I don't believe that she thought that it would get that big. I thought that she thought she was.
She still shouldn't have done it, though.
Can I finish?
Oh, my bad.
I think that I'm not saying. Does that mean I'm saying she should have done it? No, I'm not saying she should have done it. I'm just saying that she didn't. There's no way she could have known it would have gotten as big as it did get. That's how much she devalues herself as a woman, and really how Black women devalue themselves as women and people of society in society too. Because I'm sure she never thought that it would get so big. I think she thought she was doing this to her family, to the people that she want to feel sorry for her, the people that she want attention from. I do not think that she thought that it would get this big. And I'm not taking up for her. I'm not saying she's right. I'm just saying, like, she's a human. And people fuck up all the time. And every single one of us have fucked up in our life. Every single one of us. And we know that we would not want this type of scrutiny for the time that we fucked up. And we know we have.
Yeah. I agree. People fuck up, but you got to deal with the consequence. When she took, whether she thought it was going to get that big or not, she took that risk, and it was something she shouldn't have did. And it sucks that it got this big because the time and resources used to find her, we could have found somebody who's actually missing or whatever the case may be. I think she got to deal with the scrutiny. It's the consequence to her action. I don't think she's not worthy of forgiveness. And you're right. I don't think it's like that bad or whatever. But I do think you got to pay. You know, you got to pay for you got to pay for your fuck up sometimes. And she's paying for it through scrutiny. You know what I mean? She took the risk. The shit blew up bigger than she thought it would. So she got to.
Do you want the world to hold you to the same standard?
Absolutely. What you think? You don't think so? You don't think? If I did some shit,
you want to be held accountable for the times that you fucked up in your life. You would like to be held accountable in the way that she's being held accountable.
No. I wouldn't like that. No, but
okay.
If I did something of that magnitude that put me in that position, then I just got to deal with it. I did what I did, and I just got to deal with it.
I'm gonna put something out here to you.
Okay.
Remember when you was in school and you told your teacher that you were diabetic?
I am a diabetic.
No, but you weren't then.
Whatever.
No, but listen. You know what that could have done? That could have gotten me in trouble for neglect. People say, oh, you're diabetic. Your mother didn't tell us about you being diabetic. You don't have no insulin. You don't have no medication. You don't have no plan. That could have really went left. Do you think that it would be cool for you to have held to that standard of accountability of just making a mistake, fucking up, bullshitting around?
Yeah.
Did you think that when you were doing that, did you think that it could come to the point where you could be taken away from me by CPS?
No.
Now imagine if that happened. Would come on. This is what I'm trying to say to you. We all fuck up.
And I say she's worthy of forgiveness.
Oh, okay.
But for right now, she got to take the criticism. And at this moment, she has the ability to not get online and, probably ignore a lot of it and just stay in the house and cool. But she got I'm sorry, she just got to deal with it. And if I had done that, I would have just had to figure it out. And no, I don't want that to happen to me. And like I said, she's worthy of forgiveness. But if that would have happened, I'd have just had to deal with it. I'd have had to figure out how to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't go down like that. But there have been times where my fuck ups have been big fuck ups, and I had to figure it out. You know what I mean? So it just
but you don't
it does
be
suck.
Held accountable with the most extreme broad stroke. You get what I mean?
Agree. I agree, and that's what I'm saying. It does suck.
I'm not saying that she's wrong. She's not wrong. What she did was wrong, but she's a human too.
Yeah, I agree. She fucked up. She's worthy of forgiveness, but right now you just got to eat that mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn, not the whole world gonna know I lied about having diabetes in high school. What? The writer strike.
Okay.
What's that about? Nah. Right now in Hollywood, the writers as writers, directors, and actors are on strike for benefits. They want to pay. They want to get paid their due money for their residuals. They're fighting for better benefits, a bigger piece of the pie, which they feel like they deserve. I do feel like they deserve it too. A couple of big things have developed in this strike. We just found out that The Rock donated a significant six-figure chunk out of his pocket to keep some of the lower paid, lower tier members of, actors and writers paid, like to have them because they're not working right now because of the strike. So I think that's dope. I think that is something that is necessary to keep people going.
I think that all
with the strike.
Actors should do that. They should donate to a fund to help them.
Yeah.
And it's a tax write-off, so win-win.
So Andrew Schultz, the comedian, had posted on Instagram that he, just to paraphrase, he said that he thinks that so for the residual pay, the only way to decide what the fair percentage would be to know the viewership, and that Netflix doesn't want to share the viewership because the viewership is extremely low, and that would bring their stock value down, and that would cause a lot of chaos on that end of the spectrum. And he also said that he thinks that if the longer the strike goes on, they might be striking themselves out of jobs because, let's say the numbers do come out and they're low, it's going to be less funding, less shows getting greenlit, less actors working, less writers working. So he thinks there's a possibility that they're striking themselves out of a job. And
that nigga is the ops. Because that's some bullshit.
You don't think that you think that? So why do you think that's bullshit?
I think it's bullshit because I know the viewership is not low on these streaming platforms. People are watching. You know how we know people are watching? Because people are talking about it every day on social media. It's everybody's life. These movies that people recommending movies that come on Netflix, that come on Hulu, that come on this.
Yeah, but it's streaming service. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I fucked up.
No.
I was just going to say another thing to think about is streaming services are having the password sharing issues, and they think that that's losing them a lot of revenue. People having accounts and having a bunch of people having their passwords. So that may result in the viewership maybe looking, you know what I mean? Like looking lower than it is because if they're doing it by account, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like 4 or 5 people sharing one account, watch it. It makes it look like, oh, this has been viewed. Excellent.
No, because viewership is just views. So it's the amount of.
So it's how many times
it's
how many times it's played.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So you think that if I watched it, because I watched Seinfeld over and over, you think that just the first time that I watch it counts? No, every time that I watch it, it counts.
Oh, okay.
Towards the viewership.
Oh yeah. Okay, you're right. Yeah. That makes more sense. I'm bugging.
So there is no way that it's low. Mm-hmm. That nigga is the ops, okay? He's trying to convince these rappers, don't be striking because it's going to take away from our... Mm-hmm. Like, who sent you out here with that narrative? Did the billionaires put some Vaseline on before they served you that narrative?
Huh?
Did the billionaires who profit off of the writers, actors, and directors put Vaseline on before they fed him that narrative that if we strike, we'll strike ourselves out of jobs?
Are they ashy? What's the Vaseline? What does Vaseline have to do with this? Oh, like on. Oh, that. That was clever. That took me a minute. I'm not. Okay, here's what I think. I think that, and this is a very simple way to think about it. I just think it's not going to be no intricate thinking. My thinking is that if they remain on strike and they just hold their shit together, right, the content that's already made is going to be put out. And they're going to run out of content. And at that point, they're not going to have anything to put out. Their fucking advertisers are going to pull. It's going to it's going to hit them where they hurt the most in their pockets. And they'll have to get something, you know what I mean? Definitely. Like, so I think if they could just hold out, I know there's a bunch of shit already filmed because that's the nature of Hollywood. I know a lot of shit is in post-production, so, and it sounds easy to say, but you know, people.
Of course, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
But
if they
people
do
who have more money need to help out.
they
need to
can
help
if
each
they can
other.
if they can push it, and I know this is asking a lot of people to not work, but if they can push it to when there's no more content left to push, what happens then? Like they have all the leverage at that point. You know what I mean? We not coming back to work unless we get what we want, and if we don't come back to work, you don't make no money. So they have a way of making money right now. So I think that if they hold the line, if they make
gonna
sure
be
they
hard.
stay
It's gonna be hard.
yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And The Rock is doing the right thing. He set the tone. Now, Tom Cruise, bring your crack at, I mean,
Scientologists Scientologists gonna look at Tom Cruise like, no, you're not giving no motherfucking money. All the extra money coming here.
they need to help because that's the only way people who aren't making a lot of money right now and haven't made a lot of money are going to be able to keep going with the strike and holding the line for y'all to ultimately get what y'all need. So I hope that they can do that. What I wanted to talk about was there's something similar going on in the NFL right now with the running back position.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they're not trying to pay the running backs pretty much, and what they're doing is running backs have a short window to make money because after 30 years old, running backs are considered you don't pay for an old running back, right? So you think if you get drafted around 24, you sign a 4-year contract, and then the team can franchise tag you twice. They have your rights for 6 years. Now you're 32. Your value's down. You never get that big bag, right? And the reason why is because running back production has been up. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm a running back, right? And I'm in my 3rd year. I'm one of the best running backs in the league, and I'm due for an extension, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening now is the guys who are supposed to be my backup in the 3rd string, they're like just as talented. Like running back, being able to produce a good running back is at an all-time high. You know what I mean? They're like people are drafting running backs in the 3rd and 4th round, and they're turning out to be franchise guys. So that is incentivizing owners to not pay running backs. They're thinking, all right, your contract is coming up. You're 30-something years old. Why would I give you big money when I could just draft another decent running back in the 4th or 3rd round? And they turning out to be these good guys.
Yeah. And you know what's is so gross about that? That a owner can actually use a person like that. Mm-hmm. That is gross. So saying, hey, this running back is doing a good job for me. Let me pay him what he deserves because I know how the things go in the lifespan of a running back. Let me be a decent human and share in the profits with this person. This is gross. And these are the people that you think are the good people of the world. Like you poor people want to protect these people.
All right, let's keep it. Hold on. Let me just finish this. So, a bunch of running backs. There was a deadline the other day, and all of the running backs who were franchise tagged. None of them signed extensions, including Tony Pollard, Josh Jacobs, and Austin Eckler, all of which are top 3 in the profession. Right? So they get to tweet. One running back tweet out, just get rid of the position. They don't value us. Oh my, every elite running back you could think of in the NFL is tweeting. And I'm here to tell you, I know you think those tweets are powerful. I know you think you're supporting your brother, but you are doing absolutely nothing. You are doing nothing. That tweet means nothing. There are owners on private jets, probably in group chats, sending that shit around. They're laughing at y'all. Y'all think they don't give a fuck about these tweets, and you know why? Because it's summertime, it's off season, y'all Tweety McGee, and y'all want to fucking tweet up a storm. But guess what? When September roll around, I bet you they gonna sign up, they gonna show up to training camp. I bet you they gonna run that fucking football. I bet you they gonna do their fucking job. So why would an NFL owner care about your tweet if you're just gonna come to work? The only way that this is gonna work out is if all the running backs come together and say, we not coming to work. Because let me tell you something. A quarterback trying to throw 60 fucking passes a game, them baseball shoulder injuries, they going to start coming to football. 60 pass attempts in the NFL with the velocity that they throw the ball, Tommy John, sign them up for it. They have value. And just because there are a lot of good players doesn't mean that position doesn't hold value. And the only way they're going to realize is if you don't come to work.
Stick together.
You gotta be one, and that's what. And I know there's running backs that's not willing to make that sacrifice, and for that, yeah, it's like y'all don't really y'all want to talk about being mad about it, but y'all not really mad about it. You're not willing to do what needs to be done to change it. Right? These actors, these writers, and these directors, if they stick together, I promise you they're gonna get their shit done. I promise you they're gonna get their shit done. Hey, y'all need to do the same thing. Yeah, it's never gonna work if y'all not honest. Because one person is disposable. If this person doesn't show up to camp, if Dalvin Cook doesn't show up to camp, guess what? There's somebody that will. Freaking Saquon Barkley. He said that he was gonna hold out for the Giants, right? He's one of the running backs that got franchise tagged. He said he was gonna hold out. You know what the Giants did? They went and signed James Robinson off his couch. Mm-hmm. You know what as long as they can do that, why would they pay you? So I say that to say you got to be, if you want to make some serious change, there has to be unity. You have to come as a one united front, because one person is a pawn. You're expendable. You don't make or break the league. Even the best player in the NBA right now, if he leaves, he's not going to make or break the NBA. Right. You know what I mean? He needs his brothers to support him.
But how many teams are in the NBA?
32.
But if 32 of the best players in the league leave,
you see what I'm saying?
It would devastate. 32.
Yo.
And think about that. if it's 32 teams, that means only one player from each team.
Yo, on the Joe Budden podcast, right, when they was talking about this same subject, Joe kind of offhandedly suggested yo, we should all get together right now, leave them with no entertainment. They won't have shit to watch. I said, Joe, fuck you. Me and my mother will be in that studio 3 times a week entertaining y'all niggas if y'all go fuck out of here. Which is funny because that's me being hypocritical of everything I just said. But no, yeah.
And that's why what make you understand why those hungry corners would go in because they're hungry.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all a story about Unity. Another AMC. I was trying to keep the companies out. Another movie theater story. I remember when I was there was a time where I went on vacation for my birthday, right? I think I took 7 days off. And when I left, took my 7 days. When I came back, I remember I was in the office with my fellow managers, and one of them was like, "Yo, Q, you spoke to the senior manager, right? She spoke to you?" And I was like, "No, she didn't speak to me." I'm thinking damn, did I get in trouble? Am I getting written up or whatever? And he's like, "Yo, open your email." I'm like, "Oh no." He asked me, "Did I check my email?" Matter of fact, I said, "Nah, I ain't check it. I came downstairs to count the cash." He said, open your email, right? I don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, open my email. So he's like, scroll down. He's like, click that. And it's an email. So at this location, the general manager is the head of the talent board for the entire New York market. And he has to submit what's called a talent report at after Q2. And what this talent report is what he said. The talent report is you put everybody, every manager, every supervisor, and if let's say they needed a general manager, who's next in line to be promoted within the next 6 months out of each location, right? My senior manager has sent it out to the entire theater by mistake, right? And she aligned everybody up, the entire management team, to log into the delete email so she can delete it so that it would never be seen. But guess who was on vacation? Right? And because this incident happened,
go through the bad guy.
And because this situation happened at the front end of my vacation, so let's say I went on vacation from the 1st to the 15th, it happened on the 2nd. You see what I'm saying? It happened on the front end. So by the time I got back, I guess she forgot about it, slipped her mind. She never got to me, right? Now, we look at this fucking shit. All but 2 people. I think we had a management team of 11, a leadership team of 11, maybe 12. And only 2 people had they call it high potential. Everybody else is said no potential. No fucking potential to be promoted. Now, this location that I work at is a flagship location. So the management teams at these locations are supposed to be cream of the crop. They're supposed to be the top people. So the fact that you have a management team at a flagship store of 11 people and you only have 2 as high potential, let me tell y'all something. Well, actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say I didn't really give a fuck. I knew I wasn't shit. I didn't give a fuck, right? I knew I wasn't shit. I really didn't care that much.
So for you, it was you. Was
Yeah,
like, that's true.
Yeah, but for like the motherfuckers who was like
trying
for lifers and like what they was pissed, right? So the whole week, we kind of treating our general manager like shit. We treating all our senior leadership team like shit, whatever. And one of the managers came when we used to have a window from when the openers were leaving and the closers were coming in, but we were all in the same room. So one of the managers came out and said, I don't want none of y'all to take this personal because I really like y'all. I really like working with y'all and nothing is personal. But that talent board review shit really pissed me off. And I'm, from now on, no matter how busy it is, no matter what's done, I'm leaving at my proper, if I'm scheduled at 5, I'm not staying a minute past 5. And so we all kind of hopped on board. We was like, yeah, right?
Yeah.
And because that job requires so much extra effort, when we was doing it, it was really fucking up the operation in terms of closing day, cash deposits. Like people, like I was clocking out at 5 and I didn't count a single register for the whole day. I didn't even bring the cash to the office. But I was like, it's 5 o'clock. I'm out of here. I'm not doing nothing extra. And I was doing it because everybody else was doing it. So it's not like they could just single me out. And I say that to say, when we got on our bare minimum shit, our general manager had to call an impromptu manager meeting, like to kind of address, like, yo, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And we addressed it, and he gave us some bullshit, but things got a little better. You could see the difference in what was going on. And let me tell you something. We was fucking them. Oh, we was leaving, and we would have a cart full of stock going from one floor to another, and be like, "Oh, well, motherfucker, I guess it's my fucking time to go." And we leave that shit jammed in the elevator, like half the U-boat in the elevator, half of it out, and just be like, "Oh, time for me to go clock out."
The high manager's like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
I know he was
like, wait a minute, why is everybody acting crazy?
And it was funny because it was one of the high potential managers who, I guess he was in a good mood. He didn't hate because he was on a high potential list. He told them like, oh, Q showed them, but whatever. Fun fact: 2 months later, I got transferred. 2 months after that, I got fired. But people who know me is gonna know the company and the situation now. But whatever. That was, yeah. So that's what Unity get you. It'll get you. Yo, he had to call like one day I guess somebody must. I don't know what made him crack. Like, all right, we need to address what the fuck is going on. But one day he just called an impromptu manager meeting. And it was funny because usually he'll send like a supervisor on the floor. Like, okay, you staying here. You gotta watch. Somebody gotta be on the floor. He was like, I don't give a fuck about the floor right now. Manager meeting right now. What the fuck is going on? Because we was doing him dirty. I'm not gonna lie. But this is your segment. This is where you really got some explaining to do.
What's your man?
A couple of episodes ago, you said that Obama ain't nigga, and you didn't offer any. So you said we will address that at a later date. Why is Obama not nigga? And I need the whole spiel too. Don't shortchange me.
Okay. Obama's father came from Africa.
Talking to your mic.
Obama's father came from Africa to America, met a white girl that he thought was kind of cute. And then he put a baby in that white girl, and then he went back to Africa. And then the baby that was in...
Oh, shit. I know I said give me the spiel, but she's like, it started when his father was born. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, so Obama's father left black baby with a white American woman. Black baby grows up to be the president of the United States of America. But he's black, but he ain't nigga. And the reason why he ain't nigga is because he's black because of his father, who was African. And he's white because of his mother, who is American. Well, he's not white, but he has a white parent because his mama is white, who's the American. So this is like a golden rule. amongst niggas. I'm letting y'all know. I hope that I do not get an infraction from the niggerdom kingdom. But in order for you to actually be nigga, you could say nigga if you black, it's fine. You can always say nigga, but in order for you to actually be nigga, you have to be descendant of American slave chattel system. And Obama is not descendant of the American slave chattel system.
So Obama can use the word nigga.
He could
legally.
say nigga. Yeah.
Legally.
Legally.
Okay. And
all black people, for no matter where you from, can say nigga.
So even black people,
you got a nigga card. Use it if you want to. Don't use it if you don't want to. It's yours to do whatever the fuck you want to.
So just to clarify, black people, not all black people are niggas, but black people who aren't nigga can say nigga.
Correct.
Okay.
Without any trouble.
With no trouble.
No problem.
No problems at all.
You have a nigga card. You could use it if you want. You could not use it if you want. If you hate the word so much you don't, that's your prerogative.
And now
but you got it.
Is the nigga card non-transferable?
It's non-transferable. You cannot pass your nigga card on.
You hear that, Chris Rock? You hear that, Chris Rock?
Blacks.
Nah. Let's talk some.
Oh no. Okay. There are certain niggas who do have the ability to give out the nigga for a day card. I'm sorry. I apologize. When you said, I thought you meant, can any nigga just say
nigga. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Let's talk about some stuff I want to talk about. My boy Drake is in town. Drake, he's on the New York part of his tour. He had 4 shows at Barclays, 4 shows at Madison Square. I think he has one tonight and tomorrow. I think night 2 was the night. So me, my mom, and my dad, shout out to my dad, Joe's Drinks. We went to go sell some nutcrackers and some waters at the second Drake show. That was cool. There's some things. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, look like you was gonna say something. There's some things I gotta address when it comes to Drake, right? For those of you who don't know, I was at the Apollo show in January. Check it, bitch. And his set list was exactly what it is now. And I thought that was good for a one-off show or 2-night, whatever. Because you want to play the hits. You want to do songs from, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, So Far Gone. Thought it was a good idea for that one-off show, right? And I'm noticing his set list is the same. And I don't like that. Drake has put out CLB, the leak shit, Her Loss. He's put out 3 projects since his last tour.
You sure it's not 4?
And Dreams. It's the fuck. The other one don't count because this is a compilation of songs that are already been out, like leaks.
Oh, okay.
Not leaks, but it didn't count. It wasn't new music. It was old music from 2012, 2014. Okay. It was just shit that wasn't on streaming services. So he made a tape of songs that wasn't on streaming services and put it on streaming services. I don't like the set list. I don't think he's doing enough of his recent shit. He doesn't do any songs from Dark Lane demo tapes. That shit has some bangers. He has 4 songs from CLB. He could throw 2 more in there. And the songs on Her Low, I think first of all, he has a joint album and a joint tour, and I think they only do something like 4 songs off that album. They should be doing the whole fucking album. I love Drake. I love his classics. And then, okay, we're gonna get into that. I love Drake's. I love his classics, but I want to see the new shit.
Sound like you love his classics.
Nah, I love his classics, but I don't want to see him perform that.
Complaining.
I am complaining. I want to see him do the newest shit. He dropped the freestyle with Central C. Did you see it?
Yeah.
That was the video I sent you. Yeah. How you feel about it?
It's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then he dropped an interview with Bobby Altarthaloff.
Oh, and then niggas was talking shit.
Oh, yeah. Niggas was talking shit. Elliot.
Niggas was popping they shit.
And you gonna hear the drop in the beginning. Bro, sometimes you just gotta pop your shit, you know? But, so famous journalist Elliot called out Drake for doing an interview with Bobby Altarthaloff. And he said that he should do more interviews with the culture, with rap culture, which is weird because he just did an interview with Elliot 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. He did an interview with Lil Yachty. You can make the argument that that's the first interview he's done outside of the rap culture. I think, no, not ever, because I remember he did some other shit, but I don't know. I thought it was whack. I thought it was nitpicky. I think that he was just a little salty that Drake didn't come to him for he hasn't come to him for an interview. Look, I think for a journalist to see like, oh, he's giving an interview to Lil Yachty. Like Lil Yachty's not a journalist. He don't put work into this. Right. He's giving an interview to his rapper friend, and then his next one is like not in the rap culture. I think that's where the it comes from, that like salt. You know what I mean? But
I think that Drake is held to. You have to understand that when you are the king, it's always somebody who wants your spot, and the only way they could get your spot is if to knock you down.
It must be so nice to have your favorite rapper Kendrick Lamar not have to deal with that because he's not the king. It must be so wonderful. Right.
It is.
Drake had me hype last Friday, I think Thursday. When he left for the show, his hotel room, he had a dog mask on, and his upcoming album was called For All the Dogs. Mm-hmm. So I had a sneaky suspicion he was going to drop it that night. I was so excited. I'm like, yes, it's going to come out. We're going to do it.
Mask on?
Drake. And his album his next album is called For All the Dogs. So I thought he was like dropping. I was like, oh shit. I was like, we're going to be able to do a lyrical breakdown on the podcast. I was so hyped. And then he got on stage that night and said, I got a freestyle dropping tomorrow, which is a freestyle we spoke about, and an album dropping in a couple weeks. A couple weeks, nigga? You said you was dropping it for the summer. A couple weeks is like August fucking 15th.
Why you lollygagging, Tugger?
So I really want him to drop the album. Looking at the clock, it looks like we got about 10 minutes left. So we're going to do our little rundown. Our rundown is like shit we don't really want to spend like too much time on, but we want to address. Suki, go ahead. You think she's pretty? People think she's not? What's up? Talk to me.
The world be trying to play Suki like she's not a beauty. She is. I could get it that sometimes someone's personality could bring down the level, the way that you see their beauty, but her actual aesthetics are absolutely gorgeous.
Carisha's kid, video service of her kid looks like throwing money in the club after Rolling Loud. People are mad at that. Go ahead, speak on that.
I didn't even know that she was a mama. I just assumed she was not a mama the way she carrying on about how she liked people to piss on her. Like, how did she feel like her son was going to have to deal with that? Like, what kind of, I just did not think she was a mother. When they said Suki, not Suki. When they said her son, I was like, her son? She got a son?
Yep, she got a son. A couple more. Doja Cat lashing out at her fans. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I see she suffers from mental illness.
Quavo was in a boat robbery apparently, and they zip tied and handcuffed him.
Cloud chaser.
You think that's fake?
Yeah.
Ice Spice dropped her deluxe. This is mine. I love you, Ice Spice. I love your music. That
He's
beautiful
such a fanboy.
I love you. I love you so much. If you see this, I love you.
Hey, stop it.
I mean, as an artist, not like.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you see the ASAP Rocky drama?
Yeah, I think.
ASAP Rocky.
What happened? Remind me.
He had he debuted a song at Rolling Loud, and the lyric was something like, "You stole my flow, so I stole your bitch," or whatever.
Travis Scott was.
I didn't. When I first saw it, I thought it was about Drake because Drake used to date Rihanna. Uh-huh. So I don't know who. I don't know. I was confused, but everybody's saying it's Travis Scott.
Then they used to date Travis Scott and Rihanna.
No, that's why. That's why I don't get the line. I think they both mid. Jamie Foxx is back. Is it a clone? Is it really him? Talk to me.
I have no idea, and I don't want people saying that I'm stupid because I think that it's a possibility. I don't know about no clone. I don't know. He do look different. He was sick. I don't know. But why would they clone?
I was about to say they did not clone Jamie Foxx. I am shocked that.
I mean, unless maybe they wanted Jamie Foxx to be a part of whatever that world is that they have.
No, they ain't clone.
Why not? You don't know Jamie Foxx is talented.
They ain't clone no Jamie Foxx.
No. I mean,
they
talented
ain't clone no Jamie Foxx.
You don't never know. You don't determine a person's worth. You don't know what Jamie Foxx could do. Jamie Foxx could be the best dick sucker in the whole wide world.
All right. That's a way to wrap up the show. They didn't clone Jamie Foxx. Next episode in 2 weeks. All right, bye.
All right.